Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see Viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Tripsy tarantula cam.
Hi, girlie. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I called you a girlie. That you could be upset with me. Well, Viperkeeper here with that little old snake that used to play dead for me. And here's our friend Tripsy.
Hi.
Got the big snouty by the tail. Giving her some pointers on how to handle the bigger cobras, although he's a little bit more weighty, but the smaller one is in shed, therefore not so easy to work with. I don't want to damage his skin. Now here we are. Tripsy's working with the water cobra a little bit. Now these guys are not going to be in the best of mood because I just drug them out of bed to have some fun here. But water cobras are generally very, very laid back cobras. Now one thing, when they start climbing the hook, you sort of have to reach around with the other hand and grab the other end.
Whoops.
But you also have to get rid of them if he comes up. But as you see, it's not quite like the snouted cobra.
Yeah.
It's not really interested in running. It's just interested in, like, is there food here? Ooh, this is nice and warm. Now this is a boy. He has a very, very nasty feeding response, but other than that, when there's food not present, he's pretty gentle. But you know, he will hood when he's getting annoyed with you. And I do not go above like the 4th band here because that distance is too short if he wanted to take a nip at you. Without my glasses, I can't tell if it's focused or not. So you guys will just have to go with the flow. Again, the whole trick with cobras is some will hook, some will not, some will run. The ones that want to run, you never relinquish control of the tail unless you're absolutely certain it's going to come up and bite you. It's best if you keep at least the first foot to 15 inches on the tabletop if you lift them up. Now this is like a training cobra because he's so laid back. Okay, yeah. See, most snakes don't like their tails grabbed, as most girls don't like their tails grabbed. But that's basically, you know, if they're calm, they're not going anywhere, just letting them relax on the table. You know, I bet I could put him down on the table and just let him relax and do what I needed to do in his cage. I certainly wouldn't do that with the snouted cobra. Every animal has its own distinct personality, and fortunately this guy is one of those snakes, even though he's getting a little upset because the camera's scaring him. You can see him flare a little bit. What you want to look at all the time is the rate of respiration and, you know, how rigid the neck is held. You want to look at tongue flicks. You know, that's a little curious tongue flick. It's not quite sure what the camera is. Respirations are sort of slow and regular. It's not really, upset. Its tail is very relaxed. These are the beginning of the things that you need to look at. When you start to gauge an animal, what sort of mood it's in, and how much hell is it going to give me if I have to handle it. It's simply because even very docile snakes will have a bad scale day, and even I leave them alone unless it's absolutely necessary that I remove them from the cage or whatever, just because it puts extra stress on the animal and extra stress on me, and I don't need any of that. Okay, he's relaxing now and deciding, oh, I'm not going to get hurt. There's no food, but you can imagine being in the cage 24/7. If they get the opportunity to go out and do something, they're certainly very interested in doing that.
Of course.
And, I afford them the pleasure as long as they're not trying to scoot under things and stuff. And that's why I use this table. It's a little slick, doesn't give them really good traction, but it's not an odd surface that really annoys them either. Hey, how are you, huh?
He's looking
Now,
happy.
yeah, now also, notice he gets a little bit upset. Always try to keep a lower profile if possible, because when you stand up, you appear as this big giant thing that they don't quite understand. And, you saw him get frightened. So that's why you always sort of present a smaller profile, in this way, they're not so hyper, huh? You a little bit upset, huh? 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 Yeah, we got a little bit of hooding going on there, huh? Now, also, if you think about it, I don't know what your skin temperature is at your hand, but you can feel how nice and cool he is. Well, putting your hot hand on him also, can be a little bit disconcerting for them. So that's one thing that I always, consider. If I can lay my hand on a piece of glass real briefly, just to lower the temperature a little bit, that helps a lot.
Really?
Yeah, hi. How are you, huh? Yeah, it's just me. Yeah, it's just me. You're good. You're a good boy. These guys are really relatively good step into the larger African cobras, because they're mostly gentle and pretty laid back. They do have a hell of a feeding response, and that's probably the most dangerous thing about them, because if there's a smell of mice or rat in the room, you touch that glass and it's on it with its mouth going and it's trying to bite. So that's really what you have to be careful, and that's why it's nice to sort of disturb their sleep pattern and just pull them out.
To give them a little handling, right?
Yeah, well, I've never fed them at this hour, so they're not expecting food. As a matter of fact, initially when they get out here, they don't know what to expect. So that's why they're a little bit tense, and you can see how loosened up he is now.
Very.
His body language is a lot better. He's like, wow, this is cool. I get to look around a little bit. Huh?
And what part of Africa do you find these?
Well, these are in Central Africa, western Tanzania on Lake is it Tanganyika? something like that. I can show you on the map. But western Tanzania, Congo, central equatorial Africa, essentially. And they're just fantastic animals. They do really well in captivity.
It's a beautiful pupil.
Oh yeah, they have the most unusual eye, I think, of, well, besides Gold's tree cobra, which you hardly ever see. They also have that neat little spine on the back of their tail that they'll jab you with on occasion. South African polyvalent works very well as an anti-serum for them. But of course you don't want to sample their venom. Certainly one of the more beautiful cobras with, you know, all the outlines on the outer ends of the scutes there on the head. Just fantastic. Just very nice. Yes, I'll take the helm here and you can get some very nice pictures.
I'll try to get that eye. Are you working on a new calendar next year?
I am. I've got it whittled down to about 50 pictures to make the final choice of 13. Okay, are you happy with your tail there? Does that make you feel better? More secure, huh? Hmm? Yeah, that's unfortunate, but this is, you know, it's a horse barn and there's flies.
Yeah, of course.
You hear a little bit of a hiss. You got a plugged nose? You're whistling. Yeah, I know, I hear that. Sorry folks if that's not in focus. I don't have my glasses on so I can't tell. Yeah, let's point it down at the table. There we go.
Do you ever take him outside to put him in the grass?
Well, I sometimes do, but I try not to. For some reason, even the most laid-back snake, if you put it in the grass, it all of a sudden becomes this monster. It's like, oh, that's what I'm really supposed to be on. And you know, I just don't. Right now it's too hot out there. I don't want them getting all hot and warm and bothered. I don't want them to pick up any sort of parasite. I will do it occasionally, but generally I don't put them in the grass. You know, I would really love to go down to the stream across the street and let it go for a swim and stuff and let it have some real fun. I really would. It's just probably
best not to.
It's probably a really stupid thing to do, and you know, I'll resist it. I'll just put it in my, oh, I wish I could pack, you know, part of my brain and just imagine what it would be like. So, well, let's put this guy back in there. Yes, I think that's the way they intended. Ah! Letting Tripsy work the yearling king cobra, who's generally pretty passive, except I by accident took the female out, who has this tendency to not be so passive, but she's been a good girl so far. Except for that one big lunge you saw there on camera. See, now the problem is with this camera.
It won't focus.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, you know, it really focuses on bright spots right on this curve of the body. It focuses very nicely. But when we get around to this end that isn't quite so lit, it just doesn't want to focus. Hello! Yeah, the flies are obnoxious. I'll have to spray.
Take advantage of us not moving fast.
Yes, yes. Okay. Alright. Alright, you're good. See, now you can imagine a 10 or 12 footer rearing halfway the length of their body, and for you, young lady,
Yeah,
looking you right in the face. Certainly height has an advantage in handling venomous snakes.
And for someone like me, weight as well, as we just saw with the snouty. I
Well,
can barely lift that snouty with one hand.
well, you know, you need to get yourself a set of barbells and
Yeah.
and put some real muscle on those shoulders.
Or just a couple more snouties.
Yes, yes. We're lifting snouties today at the gym. So, yeah, they're pretty laid back, of course. You know, this is one that's been handled by humans since the day it was born. And also, she probably figures, okay, he hasn't pinned me and force-fed me yet, so this is a good day. We won't be too upset because he hasn't done that. So again, Tripsy is learning how to work cobras, and as I was explaining, you know, with these particular kings, they're pretty good. You just sort of let them loose in your hand, let most of the body on the table, and they're pretty relaxed. And you know, you can move them around with holding them in the back and hooking them. Works pretty well, and you have to try not to let them twist you up. Don't go under your arm with it, go over.
Okay.
Because if you go under, you're sort of tied up. You go over, if it goes the other way, you just bring your arm back over.
You mean like if I go under like this?
Yeah, you can hook the animal, but what are you going to do? You can't bring him over to that side. Okay, I'm out of battery here, so I'm going to pause this sucker. Hey, Viperkeeper here. It's arrived. You can't see it, but it's here. The 2011 Deadly Beautiful Zoological Calendar is in the lair and ready to be shipped to you. All you need to do is your part, and that's PayPal $20 to deadlybeautiful@comcast.net, and one of these beautiful calendars with lots of your favorites from the lair will be on its way to you. If you're an international fan and customer, you can PayPal $28 to the same address, and it will be priority mailed starting next Monday to all my friends around the world. Again, don't miss out on your beautiful, Deadly Beautiful Zoological Calendar. Last year we sold out, and I had lots of people ask after the fact, sorry, you snooze, you lose. That's the breaks. If you want to see what's in the calendar, you can go to my website, www.deadlybeautiful.com, and click on the calendar link, and you can see all the images that are used for this year's, next year's calendar. And there's also instructions there on how to pay for it. If you want to send a postal money order or a check. Again, it's arrived. It's got buzzard on the cover. It's waiting for you to do your part, and then one will be on your way, so you can enjoy 12 months of Deadly Beautiful critters. Thanks very much. Take care.